Now let's add the asteroids that we want to break. So let's go back to the assets that I had shared. Let's select this asteroids.fbx and drag and drop them. Now when you are importing the asteroids, just make sure that you check this thing. Here would be a combine meshes button. So you make sure that this is unchecked, because the mesh that we are importing, it has 3 different meshes. So an asteroid which is large, which is of medium size, and which is small, all 3 are there in this mesh. So if you combine that, all these 3 will be combined into one mesh and imported, but we do not want that. We want to import it as 3 separate meshes. So just uncheck this and select import all. See, when you select import all, you'll get 3 asteroids. So this is asteroid L0, L1 and L2. So L1 is smaller and L2 is even smaller than that. If you just place all these 3 in the level, you'll see that this is L2, this is L0, this is L1, this is L2. So let's create an asteroids blueprint, actor class. So let's name it asteroids base underscore blueprint, because this will be the base class, and we'll create children class of this because all the 3 asteroids have similar kind of behavior. We just want to change the static mesh. So we'll create a base class and then create children out of it. So just open this base class and add a static mesh component. So on the static mesh components, go to the right and select asteroid L0. You'll see that this comes up. Now just select this asteroid, rename it asteroid L0. And as soon as the level starts, as soon as this asteroid is spawned, we want it to again add force. Let's delete these 2. So to add force again, we need to simulate physics and we need to disable gravity. We need to change the acceleration as we already decided. And this force should be in a random direction. So let's go to random float. So this will give you a random float between 0 to 1. Now let's type make vector. So you can create a vector from 3 random floats. And you can give this value to the force. So as soon as the asteroid is spawned, a random force will be applied to the asteroid. Now if you place this asteroid here, just bring it up slightly, you'll see that as soon as we play, it should ideally start moving in some direction. See, it's physics simulated, but I think the force is again very low. So we need to add a multiplier to it. So let's create a variable or let's name it speed multiplier. Let's set it to float. Let's drag and drop and let's call multiply. And give this value to the force. Now let's compile and set this speed multiplier value to 1000, or let's set it to 100 for now and see what happens. Okay, nothing is happening. Yeah, so our asteroid is moving slightly. Let's increase the speed multiplier to 4000. Yeah, so our asteroid has started moving. We can hit our asteroid. Let's set the speed multiplier to 10,000. So you'll see the motion again increases. I think we need to reduce the linear damping. So we have a linear damping of 0.01. Reduce that to 0. Increase the speed multiplier again. Let's make it to 1 lakh. See, we are seeing some movement on our asteroid now. Okay, let's do one thing. Let's not apply any force along the z. Let's apply a force along x and y only, so that our asteroid only moves in a two-dimensional way. Also, let's select the asteroid and go to constraints. We need to lock the position along z. So we do not want our asteroid to move up and down. We want to move it left and right, and rotation can be along any direction. So this is fine. So let's just play it again. See, our asteroid is moving now. So our asteroid has started moving. For now, just let's set this speed multiplier to 10,000 so that our asteroid moves slowly. So we can actually shoot our asteroid now. We do not want it to run away as soon as we shoot. We want it to get destroyed and two other asteroids should form. What we are going to do is just go to asteroids base underscore BP and let's create a function. Let this function be death. So what happens when this asteroid is about to die? We would spawn another actors. Another two asteroids we would spawn. We want to spawn them at the world transform of this. Again, set try to adjust location always spawn. Try to adjust location always spawn. Also, let's go to the asteroid and set its collision to, right now it's a physics actor. And after two more asteroids are spawned, let's set it to destroy itself. So destroy actor. So whenever this death function is called, two more asteroids will be spawned and destroy actor will be called. But now these two more asteroids, we haven't created like blueprints for those asteroids. So let's just right click and click create child blueprint class. So this will be asteroid L1 underscore BP. And let's create another child of this. This would be asteroid L2. So we have two L1 and L2. Let's go to its static mesh. Let's select L1. Similarly, let's go to the static mesh of L2 and let's select L2. So we have all these two asteroids ready. Now let's go to the asteroid base, and first we want to, the base asteroid, which is the largest asteroid, should spawn two L1. So let's select asteroid L1 BP and asteroid L1 BP. So two asteroid L1s will be spawned here and then they would be destroyed. Or let's just call this death method after some delay. So after a delay of 2 seconds, let's call death method and see what happens. See. So after every 2 seconds, our asteroids are multiplying. And that is because every asteroid is spawning more asteroids. So our death method is working correctly, but the logic in the death for other asteroids is not correct. For the base asteroid, it is correct. When dying, it should spawn two L1 asteroids, but the L1 asteroid should not behave the same way. L1 asteroids should actually spawn two L2s. So if you open the L1 BP, asteroid L1 BP, here's, you can override the function, which basically means whatever existing function death you have written, you can define a different behavior of this death function inside asteroid L1. So you can read about function overriding separately. It's a programming concept. You can read about it. So if you go to functions, you'll have a death function. So you'll see that in the L1 BP, which is a child of L0, this death of the parent is called. So let's just disconnect this pin. This will mean that this logic is not called here. Let's copy this whole logic again and paste it in the death function of L1. So on death of L1, L2 should be spawned. Now let's go back to our base BP, and here now let's call death after a delay of 3 seconds. We are just debugging. This won't be the actual case. Now if I press play, okay, 2 are formed. Yes. So we have 2 more asteroids that are coming up. So now we have edited L1. Similarly, we'll edit the L2 BP. In L2 BP, again, you have to override the function death. In death, this won't be called. In death of L2, it will automatically get destroyed without anything happening. So this is the base asteroid that is there, which is the biggest one. When it dies, it spawns 2 L1 asteroids. Now if you go to L1 asteroid, when it dies, it spawns 2 L2 asteroids. And if you go to L2 asteroid, when it dies, it just destroys itself. It doesn't spawn anything. So if you press play again, see. So this is the correct behavior that we want. Now let's go to base and let's remove this delay and this death actor. Ideally, this death would be called when the bullet hits this actor. So let's go back to bullet BP and let's click on this sphere. Right now this sphere is block all dynamic. Instead of that, let's make it overlap all dynamic, so that it won't actually hit anything, but it will start overlapping and we can call overlap functions on it. So let's select the sphere, click right click, and then add event for sphere. So we can add collision events for this sphere since it's overlapping now. On component begin overlap of this sphere, we would check if the other actor is asteroid, cast to asteroid base BP. So if the other actor is asteroid, then we would call the death method of that asteroid. So whenever any actor overlaps with our bullet, we'll check if that asteroid is a base BP, asteroid base BP. If it is, then we'll call death. So this will work for both asteroid L1 and L2 because the parent class is asteroid base BP. See, both of these have parent class asteroid base BP. So if you play now, if you just go and try to shoot, see, as soon as I shot the asteroid, 2 more asteroids came up, but I think we are not hitting the L2 asteroid. So see, let's see what happens. So when I press play, if I'm hitting the first asteroid, 2 more asteroids are spawned, but I'm not able to hit the second asteroid. What I think is happening, maybe happening is, see, when I'm pressing this button, see, I can see that the bullet is moving on top of the asteroid. So probably it's not colliding with it. That may happen because of several reasons. If I go to our asteroids BP, select the asteroid L0. Instead of physics actor, let's set it to overlap all. Now if I press play, See, now it's behaving correctly. Let's just eject and see if, okay. So you are seeing, right? The bullet is getting spawned in this direction, but our asteroids, they are actually slightly below our bullet or slightly below this plane, right? Our spaceship is here and our asteroids are here. So bullet will never hit the asteroid. That may be because of one reason, which is the player start is here and the bullet is here. So let's set this player start to 0. Or this is 200, right? The player start is 200. So let's set the asteroid base BP also to 200, which will be on the same level as our player start. Now if I press play, now I think we should be able to hit. See, now all of them are getting hit, so everything is destroyed at once. So you'll see these warnings. To get rid of these warnings, let's do one thing. Let's go to asteroids BP. And right now we are adding a force. So since we have set it to overlap all and it's not a physics actor, so adding force to it doesn't make sense. So instead of adding force to it, what we will do is we'll just delete all this, and on event tick we will add world offset to asteroid, and then this asteroid would be in random float in range -1 to 1. Let's make a vector out of it. Let's take 3 random floats. On the Z, let's not move it. Let's take 2 random floats and let's multiply it with the speed multiplier. Let's set the speed multiplier to 1 and multiply it with the add world offset. So what will happen is, instead of this behaving as a physics actor, now it will just move in a random direction without behaving in a physics way. So if I play it, okay, so this is happening. So there is one more warning, see, is set to simulate physics. So we need to disable the physics simulation of our asteroid. We do not want it to be a physics body. We just want it to move in a same direction. So this is happening because on every frame we are giving it a random direction. Instead of that, let's save whatever random direction we want to throw it in. Right? So this is like random direction to throw. So at the beginning itself, we are saving that random direction, and now we are using that random direction. On every frame, we are using that random direction to add the world offset. Now this should behave properly. See, now it's behaving properly. Okay, now everything is getting destroyed at once. This is because after every bullet, so our bullet is still active after destroying one asteroid. Our bullet is still active. So we want to destroy our bullet as well as soon as it hits an asteroid. So let's call destroy actor on self, which is bullet. So whenever the sphere overlaps an asteroid, it will destroy the asteroid and then it will destroy itself. Now our bullet should behave better. So if I just hit, see, now 2 asteroids are coming up. I think our game is almost ready. But I want to modify one small thing, which is, see, the speed multiplier for the asteroid base, it is right now fixed to 1. It should be visible to asteroid L1 and asteroid L2 as well. So see, you can call set speed multiplier on event begin play of the L1 BP, you can set the speed multiplier to 10. Now also let's also go to Asteroids L2, and on event begin play, let's set it to 100, so that each new smaller asteroid will have a higher speed. So if I hit this, see these two asteroids have higher speed and these two even have higher. Let's reduce the speed of L2 to, let's say, 30. So let's move around. Let's do one thing. Let's just copy these asteroids. Let's create some more copies of them. I think our game is ready. In the next episode, we'll be making a lot of improvements to this game. Stay tuned.